Welcome, everyone, to TechDaily.ai, and this is our latest deep dive.
Great to be here.
Today, we're really getting into a topic that's, well, it's more than just relevant. It's pretty critical for anyone in tech right now.
Absolutely.
We're talking about navigating this uh, rapidly changing landscape for IT professionals, the big shifts in the job
Yeah,
market.
and all the unease that comes with it.
Exactly. So our mission today is basically to unpack what experts are saying,
Yeah.
look at the data we've got, and help you figure out how IT folks can, best show their value, maybe future-proof their careers a bit.
Build some resilience against these pretty significant industry challenges. It's an essential conversation, definitely.
Because what we're seeing, it isn't just a blip, is it? Feels more fundamental.
Oh, for sure. It's a real recalibration. We're going to look at what's driving these changes and, more importantly, what actual steps you can take.
Right, not just reacting.
And exactly. Proactively positioning yourself for, lasting success.
Okay, but before we dive right into the thick of it, just a quick word from our sponsor.
Mm-hmm.
This deep dive is proudly sponsored by StoneFly. They're a trusted solution provider and advisor, covering enterprise storage, backup disaster recovery, hyper-converged setups like VMware, Hyper-V, Proxmox clusters.
You cover a lot of ground. AI servers, too, right?
Yeah, AI servers, SA365, that's their turnkey security appliance, and public and private cloud solutions as well. Really cutting-edge stuff for today's complex IT needs.
Good stuff.
So to learn more about how StoneFly can help with your infrastructure, definitely check out stonefly.com.
Worth a look.
Okay, so the vibe in the tech sector, it feels different lately, doesn't it?
It really does. There's a definite sense of unease, lots of chatter about job security.
And if you're feeling that, well, you're definitely not alone. Our goal today isn't to scare anyone, but to cut through that noise.
Right.
Offer some practical insights, some strategies from people actually leading in the industry to help you navigate this. It's about empowerment, really.
Exactly. And what's fascinating, I think, is how crucial it is to not just know about these shifts, but to actually change your whole approach to your career. I mean, the landscape's moving so fast, standing still, that's just not really an option anymore.
Okay, so let's tackle the big one head on then, the sobering reality of IT employment right now.
Yeah, let's get into it.
The context is, well, it's pretty stark. Bit alarming, honestly.
Mm.
Some projections suggest 2025. It's not looking like a great year for a lot of IT workers,
No.
mainly because of these widespread, large-scale layoffs that are, well, they're already happening or being predicted.
You're spot on. There's one analysis floating around that predicts a really big impact. We're talking over 235,000 tech worker layoffs expected just in 2025.
Wow, 235,000. That's a huge number.
It is. And the main driver, it's probably what you'd guess.
AI, automation.
Yep. The rapid growth and, increasingly sophisticated use of artificial intelligence and automation across the board.
Right. It's not just what AI can do anymore. It's how it's weaving into everything.
Exactly, how it's integrating into workflows and, impacting roles because of that.
That 235,000 figure, it really does make you sit up and think about the scale of this. And we see it playing out, right? Like, look at LinkedIn.
Mm-hmm. Microsoft owned.
Right. They're investing heavily in AI. Now, they haven't directly said, we're replacing people with AI, but they did recently cut, 281 positions?
Yeah, across their California offices,
Mhm.
mostly engineering product management roles.
And that's not the first time either. It follows big layoffs in 2023 and 2024 as well.
And if you connect that to the bigger picture, I mean, it just highlights how fast technology itself is reshaping the very jobs that create it.
Yeah, it's kind of ironic.
It is. Think about it. IT pros used to be seen as some of the most in-demand, like the safest careers out there.
Totally. Tech jobs are recession-proof. That was the line.
Right. But these current predictions, they really suggest that job security, well, it's dropped for a lot of folks in the field. It's a fundamental shift away from what we thought was almost, untouchable.
So it's about efficiency, sure, but also just the nature of what humans are needed for is changing.
Precisely. The whole tech life cycle is evolving.
Okay, so given that reality,
Yeah.
it's even more vital to figure out how to build resilience, right?
Absolutely critical.
So let's talk about identifying maybe the more layoff-resistant roles or industries and, maybe the red flags managers look for when they have to make those tough calls.
good place to go next. And the insights from, experienced CIOs are really valuable here. People like Chris McMasters at the City of Corona, Vince Kellen at UC San Diego.
They're on the front lines making these decisions.
Exactly. And they've sort of pinpointed the IT roles that consistently add the most, measurable value, the ones that are inherently a bit safer.
And what are they seeing? What roles are topping those lists?
Well, it's pretty consistent, actually. You've got cybersecurity, no big shock there, given the threats.
Right, content need.
Cloud computing, obviously still huge, but also things like AI development itself, analytics, business systems analysts,
BSA.
cloud architects, project managers, and data architects, too.
It's interesting you mentioned data architects specifically. I saw a note that it's considered less prone to use of AI and needs more experience or human social skills.
That's a really key point. That human element keeps popping up. AI isn't necessarily replacing the need for strategic thinking or, nuanced communication.
So for data architects, it's not just databases.
No, not at all. It's about understanding the business context behind the data strategy, how different people use the data, translating complex tech needs into usable solutions.
Okay.
Those are the cognitive, the interpersonal skills AI still struggles with.
Right. And on the flip side, which roles did these CIOs see as more vulnerable?
They pointed to roles more susceptible to displacement, either by AI or even just traditional outsourcing. Things like what they call traditional software coding and core networking.
Okay, traditional software coding. What does that actually mean in practice? Like AI writes the whole app now.
Not quite. It's less about AI completely replacing programmers and more about AI tools streamlining the routine, the boilerplate parts of coding.
Oh, okay. Like code snippets, testing.
Exactly. Generative AI helping out, automated testing, refactoring code. It lets one developer do a lot more, so you need less manual coding overall.
And core networking, what makes that vulnerable?
Well, think about SD-WAN, software-defined wide area networking, and just advanced network automation generally.
Right, that shift's been happening.
It really has. It's moving away from manually configuring every single box towards architectural oversight, setting policies, automated deployment.
So you still need network pros, but maybe fewer doing the basic config stuff.
Precisely. The nature of the work is changing. The need for just, basic config jockeys is going down.
So yeah, it's not just about what skills are hot today, but how your role fits the big picture and how tech is changing the actual tasks.
Exactly.
What about industries? People still think, oh, work in government or healthcare, that's safe.
And that seems like a dangerous assumption now. McMasters, the CIO from Corona, specifically mentioned that even government, which was always seen as a safe bet, has had significant layoffs.
Really? Even government?
Yeah. His conclusion was pretty blunt. I don't see any one sector as safer than another in the current climate.
Wow. Okay. So no industry is totally immune.
Seems that way. These tech and economic shifts are just pervasive.
Yeah.
Efficiency, automation, they're driving decisions everywhere.
Which raises that important question then. If no sector is totally safe, how do managers decide who gets hit in a layoff? What's the process?
Right. Well, that alignment piece we touched on, that becomes super important.
Okay.
In union shops, sure, seniority often rules, but for non-union staff, layoffs are often tied to bigger reorganizations. Functions get consolidated, roles become redundant as teams restructure.
Makes sense.
But beyond just the structure, they look very closely at performance and value.
Yeah, McMasters mentioned that. Attention goes to underperformers, obviously, people who aren't team players. And frankly, anyone who doesn't clearly add measurable value, that seemed key.
It is key, and he also highlighted that focus often falls on projects or teams that aren't aligned with the core company priorities.
Right. Or areas without a clear ROI or impact.
Exactly. It's very pragmatic, very results-driven. If your project isn't demonstrably moving the company forward, it's potentially a target.
Which leads us right into how individuals can proactively build their own fortress against this stuff.
Yeah, it's about way more than just your tech skills. It's your whole contribution, your professional persona.
Totally. Protecting yourself, it starts with skills and expertise, yeah, but not just any skills.
Right.
The insights we've seen really emphasize the value of higher levels of expertise and also, crucially, scarcity.
Scarcity, yeah. It's huge.
If you have a skill set that's genuinely rare and valuable, you're just in a much stronger position. Those niche cutting-edge things few people have mastered yet.
That's where the leverage is. Professionals who can handle more technical complexity. Those really tough, multi-layered system problems, they're highly valued. But just as important are those who can navigate organizational complexity. Meaning successfully managing teams, collaborating across different departments, handling difficult clients. It's about how broadly you can apply your skills and influence, not just how deep your coding knowledge is.
Solving problems that involve people, process, strategy, not just tech.
Exactly. That's the sweet spot.
And it's not just about the skills you learn. It's also about fundamental traits, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
McMaster's brought up that framework from Patrick Lencioni's book, The Ideal Team Player.
Yeah, the humble, hungry, and smart model. It's powerful.
And what's fascinating there is the increasing weight put on these soft skills.
Huge premium on them. And connecting your tech work to actual business results. And let's break those down. Humble, basically. Being open to learning, admitting you don't know everything, valuing what others bring.
Like listening to the business analyst or taking feedback on your code.
Exactly. Then, hungry. That's about wanting what's next, eager for challenges, wanting to be part of a team effort, not just doing your own thing.
The person who volunteers for the tough project
Right.
or learns a new language on their own time.
Right. That initiative. And then smart. This one trips people up sometimes.
Yeah, people think it just means technically brilliant.
But for Lencioni, and McMaster's echoes this, smart is much more about emotional IQ, EQ.
Ah, okay. Understanding people, social dynamics.
Yes. Reading the room, communicating clearly, empathizing with colleagues, with users. McMaster specifically said IT pros often lack this and really need to develop it.
Like being able to explain a complex tech issue simply to a non-tech person.
That's a perfect example. Or mediating a conflict, or truly listening to a user's frustration and turning it into a fix. That's EQ in action.
So it sounds like the most resilient IT pro isn't just the tech genius, but this well-rounded, emotionally intelligent person who can bridge tech and people.
That's exactly it. Mark Settle, who's been a CIO like 7 times, he really backs this up. He says, career security isn't just tech skills. It's also knowledge of the business processes they support and their ability to work constructively with other people.
Business context again. And working well with others.
He emphasizes the value of people with specialized skills, keen business insight, and the ability to bring out the best in others.
Wow. That's the trifecta then. Technical depth, business smarts, and strong people skills.
That really seems to be the complete package for resilience in IT today. Adding value through collaboration and understanding, not just code or configs.
Okay, so you've got the skills, you've cultivated the traits. The next big step is consistently showing your value, right? And evolving.
Yeah, it's not enough to just be valuable anymore. You have to make it visible, day in, day out.
Being your own best advocate, but without being annoying about it.
Exactly. It's not bragging. It's making sure your impact is seen and understood by the right people, especially leadership.
Right. And there are practical ways to do this. First, obviously, consistently delivering high-quality work on time. That's table stakes.
Foundational.
But beyond that, be strategic. Keep a log
Right.
of your accomplishments, big or small.
Definitely. That time you optimized that query or migrated that tricky app smoothly, write it down.
Because you'll forget by review time otherwise.
Yeah.
And that log becomes gold.
Absolutely. And then develop a compelling story, like an elevator pitch, for your work. Don't just say what you did, explain why it mattered.
Connected back to the company goals.
Yes. Instead of, I configured the firewall, say, I implemented the new firewall, reducing our attack surface by X%, boosting our security posture, which aligns with our compliance goals. See the difference.
Huge difference. Makes your impact concrete.
And don't be afraid to share wins appropriately, maybe on professional social media or by presenting internally, teaching others about something you worked on.
Build your brand, shows leadership.
Yeah.
And taking initiative too. Mastering new tech, high productivity, jumping in during outages, volunteering for extra tasks.
Shows that commitment, that proactive engagement. It really stands out.
What about the stuff that isn't so obvious? The background work managers might miss.
Good point. A key strategy suggested is to connect those less obvious wins back to active initiatives during meetings.
Make it relevant in real time.
Exactly.
Yeah.
If your work streamlined a process, mention it when that process comes up in discussion. Oh yeah, the changes we made last quarter really helped speed that up.
Right.
Weave your impact into ongoing conversations where leadership can see it.
Smart. And it's not just about work either, is it? McMaster's mentioned valuing people who serve others, give back to the community.
Yeah, he noted IT folks can get tunnel vision on their screen, so seeing them use their tech skills for good volunteering for a nonprofit, mentoring students, that's really valued.
Shows breadth. And also having a history of finishing things you start inside and outside of work Reliability.
Huge indicator of a great team member, and it all ties back to that need for continuous skill development.
Which isn't optional anymore.
Absolutely required. Constantly studying new tech, picking up skills, personal study, courses, volunteering for projects, using new stuff.
Okay, let's unpack that. It really sounds like complacency is the absolute biggest threat in IT right now.
It really is.
So when we talk about mastering new tech, what does that look like today, especially with AI everywhere?
Well, this raises that key question. Are you just keeping up, or are you actively shaping your own career's future?
Right.
For AI, it means more than just knowing what ChatGPT does. It's mastering AI tools, understanding how to apply them smartly and safely in your job.
Like integrating APIs, maybe basic machine learning,
Yeah.
using AI for IT ops.
Exactly. Not necessarily becoming an AI researcher, but making AI part of your standard toolkit to boost efficiency, create new value.
And beyond tools, it's deepening knowledge in areas you're interested in, getting solid certifications, maybe advanced degrees.
Yes, and always, always, like McMaster said, connecting your work back to the organization's goals and priorities.
His final thought really hit home. Understand how you fit into the bigger picture. Be humble enough to learn. Be flexible and never stop learning. IT is not a static career. We must always be 2 steps ahead. Our job is to know what people want before they want it.
That's such a powerful statement. It captures that proactive, adaptive mindset perfectly.
Foresight, adaptability, relentless growth.
Essential to not just survive, but actually thrive.
Okay, so to quickly recap our deep dive. Yes, the IT job market faces big disruption from AI and automation. That's clear.
Definitely.
But the insights from leaders show a path. Proactively develop those in-demand skills, cultivate the crucial soft skills, business sense, EQ, and effectively show the measurable value you bring.
Those are the keys to building resilience and securing your future.
So for you listening, maybe a final thought to mull over. In this world where tech constantly redefines everything,
Yeah.
the most secure IT career isn't one you just hold on to. It's one you actively, continuously create.
Through relentless curiosity, smart adaptation, and making a visible, undeniable impact. I like that.
Couldn't have said it better.
Nicely put.
And a huge thank you again to StoneFly for sponsoring this deep dive.
Absolutely.
If you're looking for those enterprise-grade solutions, security, performance, check out their 100 TB immutable and air-gapped SSO NANds. It's available for just $8,995.
Pretty compelling offer for that kind of tech.
For sure. You can find more info on that and everything else they do at stonefly.com.
So yeah, take these insights, think about them, apply them to your own path, stay curious, stay proactive.
Keep creating that future, and stay tuned for our next deep dive.